what you're going to see here. It's a pretty quick clip, so you're going to see a lot of different things going on. But first, I'm going to show you a little bit about those spirit houses that we often see in front of restaurants and houses, shops. And then you're also going to see one that's in a shop. Then you're going to see some clips from the temple, like a local temple. And you'll see lots of different things there. It's really honestly too much in one temple to take in. And then on the final third, you're going to see Lekana and I walking around outside of the temple in what would be our equivalent of a graveyard. You'll get to see some of that today. So yeah.
And Leah Kana is there with Travis, and she's going to be kind of the moderator for some of your questions afterwards. So thank you, Leah Kana.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you all again for a second trip to Cambodia. We're really also happy that if you showed up that first day and then you also showed up today, or even if today's your first day, we're just happy that you're getting a little bit of a glimpse into what the world of Cambodia looks like, and at least what it looks like on this side of the world in terms of mission, as well as in terms of local Khmer believers. So it's a great opportunity with Lekana here to be able to explain some of these things that she grew up seeing all the time, and can give you much more in depth than many of us missionaries can.
Thank you, Travis.
So you can see those little sticks right out front. Those are the incense sticks. This is one inside of a restaurant. So you can see like a really nice restaurant, but there's that little house with these like gold statues. There's so many of them all around that I just wanted to give you some quick snapshots of what they could look like. Do you remember any of your parents ever having something like this?
Here, a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, we have that in front of the house.
So this is a little snapshot of a temple inside the city. You can see, you can actually hear the monks kind of chant in the background. This was a tent during Chumban, where it's actually a ritual that cleanses you of your sins. So a really great opportunity to talk about Christ there. The temple is kind of this big, almost community space. So you'll often see a lot of kids, sellers, people there in the temples, lots of statues. I don't know if you can see some of the kids will be riding their bikes, playing around on all the stuff. So it's really welcome for all. At first, I wasn't sure if I was allowed in, but yeah, anyone's allowed in.
Everyone's allowed to be in.
Just be respectful of the monks and respectful of the people there. I think you can see a few of the monks in their saffron. Well, it doesn't look like quite saffron, but you know, the orange robes.
Exactly.
So this is like the temple entrance. Almost all of the temple entrances are pretty ornate and elaborate. And this is right outside of the temple. You can see these big kind of like structures, these pillared structures. These are called jadai.
Yes.
And so this is where they would put the remains after someone was cremated. But typically the cremation process, it leaves the bones. So there would actually be some of the bones would be there as well. Can you tell us some more about some of these things? Oh, you can see like it looks like a traditional gravestone, but that's kind of more Chinese style, not so much Khmer style. What else could you?
Here, like for that, it from generation to generation. So this is the called like small stupa right now. And then people just like their relative from generation to generation, they kind of remain all those like the leftover bone from the cremations. So they kind of put it in the small a special stone. They leave the bone inside, and then they keep it inside that. So people will go back to there in some time during the years. For example, like during Chumban or during like it kind of spirit, connection or whatever, they go to the place and clean the place, and sometimes the family get gathering together and you know, like having the like celebration together in that place as well.
Yeah. And it's kind of, I guess, the equivalent of people visiting the grave in the States and like putting flowers on it or something like that. That's kind of the equivalent. Nathan, could you go back like maybe, I don't know, 15 seconds or so, as I wanted to show them a little bit about like the entrance to the temple. Yeah, so that's like another really ornate temple entrance. You also often see these pair of figures at the front of, this is like a grave site, but a very ornate one. You'd also see them at the front of temples. There's always these animals in pairs, and you even saw this multi-headed snake figure, which is called the Naga. You can look it up. It's I believe it's not even traditionally.
Actually, in Cambodia, it would be counted as a Buddhism, but a lot of things get left over from the Hinduism.
Yeah,
Hinduism. So like you see the stupa, the spirit, and all stuff. It's not related. Like Cambodian, we kind of combine the belief between leftover Hinduism and also Buddhism together, because in Buddhism, they don't really like believe on the spirit, you know, like a spirit take care of how, or a spirit of a random spirit in every places. We don't really have that, but like it kind of like we grown into those situation of like belief from generation to generation. It passed from family to family, so which is like the habit of having that. But if you ask a lot Cambodian, they don't really like know exactly like what they are worship or what they are like really I mean look up to, you know. So it mixture between the Hinduism and also Buddhism.
Yeah, I remember that when I was first coming to Cambodia, I was asking a lot of questions like, oh, what do you believe about this? Oh, what's the spirit house? You know, you're burning incense to it. Which spirit are you burning incense to? Does it have a name? And many of the people that I would talk to, like my Khmer friends, they'd just be like, oh, it's just a spirit, or like, oh, I don't know, we just do it. And I was really surprised how many people would say that. And perhaps it's like similar maybe in America, where you know, surveys show that a lot of people say they're Christian, but maybe if you ask them about certain parts of the Bible, they might not really understand or know about it. They might only go to church twice a year for Christmas and Easter, right? But it's kind of that same feeling that you get oftentimes here in Cambodia, that majority, like well over 90%, would call themselves Buddhists, because it's a traditional thing and it's kind of almost associated with Khmer culture at this point, even though most of my friends that I've talked to and students, Khmer students I've had, they can't really quote Buddha. They can't really explain a lot of the things, but they will do them traditionally with their parents as a part of culture.
Yeah, like we can access a lot to their spirit, like in the house, like a spirit inside the house, a spirit to take care of the land, a spirit of the village, like in a lot of way. People kind of worship to different different spirit random. Sometimes the spirit just pop up immediately without like knowing. For example, if you drive somewhere far away and then there is a dangerous place, so sometimes people just created like the house or the spirit there for people to stop by and asking for the safety, you know, along the road. But you never know, like before where the spirit from, it just pop up immediately, and then people stop by, you know, the belief pass one to another one, so those way it become the spirit place as well. So like, yeah, honestly, it depends on some people, they don't even have the spirit inside the house. They didn't have a spirit inside the house. They don't have a spirit like in front of the house. But they also count themselves as a Buddhism. But if people is very spiritual, they kind of connected to all those spirits. They have in everything, like everywhere is a spirit, like a spirit inside the house, a spirit in front of the house, a spirit like to take care of the land, the spirit to take care of the village. And sometimes they have their own personal spirit connection as well. Like you feel like you can connect to the spirit if you don't offering some
Yeah.
special thing or whatever, it kind of giving you a sickness or stuff, or so you had to sacrifice something to get back the healthier, or to bring a luck or whatever to the families. So yeah, that's a lot of things, and you can't really identify like how many spirit and where the spirit from. It just pop up. It depends on the people like creating it as well.
Yeah, thanks. That's such a good summary. So we have lots of questions.
Yeah.
Great opportunity for you guys to put those questions in of what you've heard, what you saw, because it's a lot to take in.